Genie grind and watch him get rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fucker gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up a hit but feel like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,
Hello everybody, fuck, that's bad. Hello world, I am What If Studier, and today we are doing What If Deku was a Monster Tamer Part 2. Now in Part 2, we'll be doing a little bit of a news report. Suddenly something comes over the news in the middle of Deku and Koji's conversation about him adopting one of the cats, as he tells him about the Palcos and how they were all that, and as they were trying to, make a Palco, as he really needed one for holding all the monsters that he has in a backpack. As they were discussing that, over the news they start to hear about monsters escaping someplace and starting to go on a rampage. However, when it goes to the actual picture, it ends up being monsters from his time. He explains a lot about his time, more than Koji ever could have asked for, and Koji's quite surprised about his weird past and how, well, they're capturing sort of monsters in this world, but they're dogs and cats, not as ferocious as he, usually would consider. They go out, and he tries to tame these monsters that have escaped the museum, that have been encapsulated in ice from that time. He collects what I would say like a Rathalos, as it was terrorizing basically on a skyscraper. However, it was very small and baby-like. However, nobody knew how to handle it. So he goes up and tames it, puts his hand on its nose like a dragon tamer, and it starts to trust him. It remembers his past with being a baby with him. So, the Rathalos follows him home on his shoulder. Now, Koji starts to test out his theory about the Palco while Deku is out. He makes actual Palco. Like, he whispers in the air of one cat, thinking what he wants it to do. He wants it to evolve, stand on its four legs, be able to talk, and or be able to hold stuff for them. It doesn't have to talk. It ends up being able to kind of talk and also hold stuff, which is nice. And also very surprising to Koji that it can actually do that to an animal. What could it do to an actual human, he wonders. Get more on that later. The Palco introduces himself and, not really introduces himself in a way that, is past what they understand in cat language. Koji teaches it sort of how to talk in English, and Deku and it start to learn English from Koji. Koji, of course, is putting a lot of trust in these guys, but he did capture that small dragon baby, so maybe he is very trustworthy. He says, fine, I'll take you to the, place where you can help us save more animals like Palcos. And he's like, thank God. And he's like, but I don't know if my teachers are going to really accept you, maybe they'll test you. You never know. I'll try to put in a good word. Deku's like, I'm fine with that. He goes to school with Koji, and the Palco following shortly behind with all of the animals. He has the Rathalos on his shoulder for now. And of course, riding on Odagon until Odagon becomes, into the school, which Odagon has to wait outside. He enters into the classroom with all of the new students, and of course, Ida and Bakugo having a shouting match, of course, as usual. However, they all stop and stare at him as they had never seen him in any of the tests or on their registry. And Deku introduces himself. They all start asking questions, and Bakugo actually starts to remember a little thing about Deku, about how he had been at the museum when he had escaped. He starts to remember stuff about that until everybody starts asking him about his past. Before he gets into that, Aizawa wakes up. Surprising everybody, of course, and also him asking who the hell is the newbie. Koji starts to tell him a lot about him, and he's just like, okay. You want me to test him? Fine. If he gets better than half the class, I will accept him. If he doesn't, he's cut out. Basically, Koji gets really nervous and is like, okay, well, can he have support? Because all of his things only work with me and or his Palco. And he's like, fine. You know what? Fine. But he'll have to do the best then. And only the best. Because 2 people is way too much to become a hero and have to depend on. He has to be the best. So Deku tries to ace all of the physical tests. While everybody does just as normal, he takes out the Rathalos for the jump test and goes flying into the sky, almost topping Uraka because of how far the Rathalos can really fly. However, Koji's whispers only last for so long, and the Rathalos loses its wings, and Uraka catches him with zero G. And then there's the running test, which he gets on Odagon and races around faster than Ida. And by this point, he's basically already top class, but he needs to beat out Bakugo, who was already doing pretty good for this. And then the throw test, where Bakugo gets a really high number. And Deku does not have a good throwing partner. No one to throw. All he has is the Rathalos, Nargacuga, and Odagon. What is he to do? So he takes his best shot at it. He gives it to the Rathalos to fly off as far as it can. As far as Koji's whispers take him, he goes pretty far, but not as far as Bakugo. But then he tells him to air blast, do a fire blast, which shoots it farther, barely topping Bakugo's, allowing Deku to be top 1 in the class. Now that that's done, Bakugo is super mad about this because he sees it as cheating. He's using all these monsters and also other people to help him. That isn't fair. Also, he got better than him, who's doing it all by himself. And they call it fair. So Bakugo, of course, is super pissed about this, challenges him to a fight. However, Deku is a very kind and loving person and would never fight. Bakugo keeps on teasing him throughout the days until it comes to the heroes versus villains sort of test. Bakugo, Deku can hear him screaming from inside already, talking and shit-talking about how he's only powerful because of his beasts and only powerful because he relies on other people, and he asks to be paired with Koji. Koji's, of course, paired with him because his powers only really work with Koji's. Before they start going into the building, Koji asks him about strategy. Please, I do not want to have my face blasted off by Bakugo again. He is relentless. How the hell are you going to dodge past him? Deku's like, I got an Odagon, I got a Rathalos. How far can you upgrade? How far can you make them mature? And he's like, maybe 5 years at max if I start to shout, but my whispers can only go so far, man. And he's like, upgrade the Nargacuga. Right. So right as they start out, Deku runs straight into the building, telling Koji to go around. And Koji takes the Odagon, running up the side of the building and going up across, and then bursting through the ceiling. He keeps on doing this until he finally hits the bomb, which will take a few minutes. So while that's happening, Deku is fighting Bakugo. Bakugo is just wrecking him and basically just kicks him straight to the ground and puts his foot on his chest and says, "You're nothing without your little beasts, aren't you? No friends, no beasts, and you're nothing. I am everything without anybody." He's like, "You're wrong. You're nothing without anybody." And a fire blast comes out from the back of Bakugo, shooting him across, and then the Nargacuga coming out when he falls down to the ground, pounding him down into the ground and biting on his arm. However, the Nargacuga starts to shrink while doing this, and the Rathalos too. Bakugo throws the Nargacuga to the wall and then charges at the Rathalos. However, the Rathalos is just stalling him as Deku is already running to the bomb. As he shouts his name at the top of his lungs, "Deku, get the fuck back here!" As Deku's already on his way. He meets Ida, eye to eye, as Ida starts to charge at him, aiming for his legs. However, Ida suddenly hears a crack in the ceiling behind him. He looks behind, seeing the Odagon jumping straight through, and the kid on the back touching the bomb. Ida's like, "I was a fool, no!" and stuff like that. playing his part, I guess. So basically, yes, the heroes win, and yeah, that's basically the end of that one. Thank you so much for watching this. I'll be sure to get part 3 out soon. Sorry about the wait, and I hope to God that all you have a great day. Bye-bye.
Genie grind, I wish I'm getting rich, huh? Remember when I said I hit a lick, huh? I don't really wanna fuck the bitch, what? Willie went and made another hit, okay, like Prada on my motherfucking kid, huh? Louis on my motherfucking hip, huh? Curry how I dunk, no switch, hey, fuck you gonna fuck that bitch, hey, if you ain't gon' fuck with me, you a dumb fuck, put up and hit him up for like one punch, look at my bank and I'm getting dumb rich, and I'm gonna count it up till 100,